Hello and welcome to this short overview video on the DailyFROG, which is one of the primary models we use in this group. Coupled with the to-do list, these are the primary focuses of setting our intention and celebrating our progress. So DailyFROG is made up of 4 key elements, and these elements are designed to help us get to the end of the day when we follow through on these intentions to be fulfilled and acknowledge our progress and make sure that we are taking care of both our own needs as well as giving value to others, and really tapping into the blend of doing what's urgent and important and doing what's important but might not be urgent. So bringing a blend between taking care of what's required and going above and beyond into the outstanding realm. So I'm going to go through each of these. It's a really simple framework. I do encourage you to do it daily. The feedback that I get from people is always that it helps them hone their focus. It helps them keep on track. They feel more in control. They're more certain. They're more confident. They're more able to be intentional with their actions. And while we don't always complete what we write on the list, we feel like we're making more and more decisions in line with achieving the things that we want to, doing more of what matters and less of what doesn't, which to me is the definition of productivity. For those of you that haven't met me, my name is Amy Taylor. I am a productivity coach. I'm also a home-based business mentor and a coaching mentor. So I do a range of things. So let's start with the first pillar of FROG. So the for me pillar. This is taking care of our physical, emotional, and self-actualization needs. It can be something really small or it can be something really big. So often my for me, you guys will see in the group, is a beautiful cup of tea. And I have a range of flavors. It could also be a bubble bath. It could be doing a profile. It could be getting a coaching session. It could be going for a walk. It could be making sure you drink enough water today. There's a whole range of things that fit under the banner for me. The key element here is making sure your needs are on your list. It's all too easy as women, as partners, as parents, as carers, as coaches, as business owners, for us to be the last thing on our list. So the reason for me comes first is partly because the F in the frog comes first, but also because it is really crucial that we take care of ourselves. The adage of you can't fill from an empty cup is really true. And so we need to make sure we're filling our own cups. And for me, is all about that, making sure your needs are taken care of. The next category is required. And this is the tasks requiring action to complete projects within deadlines, activities that are scheduled in your calendar, or the lifestyle choices, the routines, the rituals, the habits that you want to maintain to live the life that you love. So generally my required list comes from my calendar and my task lists. And they're the things that must happen today or have some kind of deadline attached to them. Now, there are days where I will postpone a task. There are days where I may even postpone activity or an appointment because other priorities come up. But knowing what's required, what I've committed to, what I've said I'll do today. And this list does tend to go beyond the one. So the other 3, I recommend you choose one thing, do that one thing, and then add to it. The required list tends to be set out by external factors. It's the appointments that are being made with other people or the deadlines that relate to other factors, whether it's in our own business or working with others. So required is what's important and urgent today, what must happen today. Our third pillar, the outstanding, is related to our past or future selves, or our past and future selves. And what I mean by this is, I don't know how many of you watch the show called How I Met Your Mother. And I imagine it's in many other shows as well, but in How I Met Your Mother, Ted and Marshall, 2 of the main characters, are making decisions about something. And at one point they just lean back and go, hey, you know what? That's future Ted and Marshall's problem. And I think we've all done that at some point. So that's our past self leaving stuff for our present self to need to take care of, because at some point that catches up with us. At some point we are the future version of ourselves. And then the other angle from this is, what are we doing today that our future self will either look back on with, oh, I really appreciate past Amy. Gee, she's awesome. She took care of that for me. Or, darn it, past Amy, she's left something for me to take care of as well. So it can go either way. The outstanding is either our, no, that's the wrong button. Try again, Amy. Either overdue or exceptional. So overdue are the things that our past self has left for us to handle now in the present self, which is their future self, or they're the exceptional, the above and beyond. And these are the tasks that when we take care of them today, our future self later today, tomorrow, in a month, in a year, will be grateful for. And so outstanding is really the stepping outside of what's required and externally driven into what's internally driven, what's going to serve us and make up for the mistakes our past self made, or mistakes is probably not the right word there, but make up for the inaction that our past self created, or set our future self up to be more aligned with living the life that they love. I trust that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'd love questions in the chat box. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have got. It's always the case. If I'm doing a live, if you're watching live, if you're watching retrospectively, watching the recording, that's the word I want, then always feel free to engage, ask questions. I love questions. I love engagement. And I know that it helps absorb the information better for people who are engaging. Our fourth pillar, and as home-based business owners and in this group, this is probably the area that you're best at. And so this is giving value. And this means looking beyond ourselves. It can mean looking beyond our families, our known associates, to those that we don't know yet. And so in the context of growing a home-based business, we talk about giving value as the very first step after meeting new people. And so I encourage you to give value to build relationships, whether they're existing relationships with our families, our known associates, or whether they're building and allowing you to create. In this group, you are welcome to, just you guys can still see me, my screen just did this weird flashy thing. In this group, you're welcome to give value in the realm of blog posts or sharing other content, sharing offers once a week. And I encourage you to also respond with relevance, which is one of the other pillars in the Grow a Home-Based Business Framework, which you'll find more on somewhere at some point. I haven't got there yet. But I want you to consider that if all we do is take care of ourselves, take care of what's required, and don't look to the outside world, we're going to live a very limited life. So giving value, I think it's Tony Robbins says, the quality of our life is in the quality of our relationships. And quality of our relationships is based in how much value we give to each other and how much value we receive back. There's a level of reciprocity, something else that I'm sure I will unpack in a video at some point. So that's the simplest overview of the DailyFROG system. Like I said, I do encourage you just to think through these 4 categories. Generally, what people find is they have a tendency to delete or ignore one of them, potentially neglecting. Often it's the taking care of our own needs category gets neglected. And sometimes it's that outstanding category that gets neglected, or they'll find that in the required category, they're really good at, I just want to put this back up, the required category, they're really good at completing tasks within projects, but they show up late to their activities, or they're really good at showing up to activities, but they're not so great at maintaining those habits, routines, and rituals for their lifestyle choices, or making sure that tasks get completed. So the DailyFROG, what you set out as your intention at the beginning of the day, what you follow through with, will help you start to understand yourself better and know what works well for you and what doesn't. And that is one of the greatest pillars that we can bring to creating a life we love and growing a business and engaging in relationships with others. Self-awareness is really key. So DailyFROG can become a self-assessment task. What did you do yesterday? Did you meet all of those 4 pillars, or did you get consumed by one and neglect others? Now, there's a time for that. If you're doing it consciously, great. It's when it's unconsciously driven. So to take back control of your day, to really bring your focus and really allow yourself to be the version of you that you want to be, and tap into growing that home-based business, helping fall back with yourself, creating the life you love. For me, it is a no-brainer that DailyFROG is the foundation, that pillar of that. I really look forward to engaging with you in the group. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. I'm delighted that you're here. I'm delighted that you're reviewing this. If you've watched it before and you're watching again, you're awesome. And I look forward to seeing more and more people adding to the DailyFROG posts each and every day. I look forward to connecting with you really soon.